Hi, I'm Phil Sampson and I'm here at Coniston Water today on an unusually bright, warm, sunny and dare I even say it, dry Lake District day. And I'm here along with all of these crowds of people you can see behind me to hopefully catch a glimpse of Bluebird K7 running on Coniston Water once again for the first time since that fateful day, 4th of January 1967, when Donald Campbell tragically lost his life. And one of the things I'm hoping to achieve today is to catch up with the pilot for the day, Dave Warby, who is the son of Ken Warby, who shot to fame with Spirit of Australia 1 when he broke the world water speed record, and Dave is now preparing his own attempt with his boat Spirit of Australia 2, and we're going to go and have a look for him because I've heard he's got a free moment in the tent where both Bluebird K7 and K3 are being prepared for today's event. Okay, so Dave, here we are sitting in front of K3 at the moment. Now, you, like Donald and Malcolm Campbell, are part of a father and son team. So how did you get involved in this, and why does this kind of thing run in families?
Well, Dad built a Spirit of Australia in the family backyard, and not in a shed, in an open backyard. I don't think many people realise how hard that was, and it copped a hard time from many critics, as most record breakers do, and to see your father build a boat in the backyard and become the world champion, if that doesn't inspire a kid, nothing will.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Now tell me, how did you get involved with this particular project?
Well, my father and myself, before he passed, we finished building Spirit of Australia 2, and I've been running that now. We're running at about 280 mile an hour. It's got an Orpheus engine, the same as Bluebird, but a later model version. Just with my experience operating and driving that, the museum asked if I'd be interested in driving K7. Given it's the boat that inspired my father to break the world water speed record, it was an honour to be asked and to accept the job.
Now, I know that this week you've been running a series of tests so far, gradually cranking up the speed, and you're looking to get up onto the plane and hopefully exceed 100 miles an hour, maybe somewhere near 150. So you're really going through the same things that Donald Campbell would have gone through before he made his final attempt. Now, how do you think he would have prepared for that attempt? And what would he have been thinking and feeling at that particular time?
Probably a lot of frustration, to be honest. We're really going through a fuel starvation issue at around 80% power, so they're really just sorting the fuel flow out for us at the moment. But yeah, I can see how with Donald that would be frustrating. Problems and with weather and mechanical issues that can bring in frustration.
Okay. What do you feel when you sit in the cockpit yourself?
Well, it's a very spiritual thing for me, actually. I'm not a spiritual person, but knowing that you're sitting in the boat that Donald Campbell on the water that Donald Campbell broke many world records and sadly lost his life, and the boat that's inspired our family to chase world records, because when Donald was in Australia with CN7 and K7, they were great ambassadors for Britain and world records, and that tour inspired my father, and it's really, it's a spiritual thing. I really focused on the boat, driving the boat, and we're trying to solve some problems at the moment, so I do focus on that, but when everything's settled down, you get at home, you really got to pinch yourself.
Yeah, I bet, yeah. I once had the privilege of interviewing the legendary Sir Stirling Moss, and I asked him what was the attraction, and he said that for him it was two things, danger and girls. Well, we'll leave the girls aside, but does danger come into it? You know, do you enjoy the thrill?
No, it's for my father and myself, it's definitely not the thrill, and it's definitely not for fame or fortune. Dad always told me that holding the world water speed record in $5 will get you a cup of coffee. So it's not that. It's actually, and it's not the thrill of driving. No, it's not a wow thing for us. It's really solving the engineering problems. When you drive a boat, your senses, a jet boat, your senses become very heightened. You become part of the boat. And in our family, we build and design and drive the boat, so you know it inside out. So for us, it's really being able to solve the problems. That's the real thrill.
Okay, that's great. That's great. You mentioned a bit about engineering. Have any real-world benefits been derived from world speed record attempts?
Yeah, I think so, especially in years gone by, in the 20s and 30s. Probably not so much nowadays. The big change nowadays is getting time on the water and risk. I think speed records in this day and age can be paralysed by risk. And that's certainly a problem we're having. Gone are the days where you can spend a week or 6 weeks next to a waterway. We get a day and a half and we've got to try and achieve what we can, tick all the risk boxes. It nearly paralyses a speed record.
Yeah, understood. The other thing I'd like to talk to you about is really the start-up procedure of the boat. What do you have to do to get her up to speed? And then when you let rip, what do you actually do?
This starts are very different to Spirit of Australia too. We've got an electric start system on it, and we bring ours up from low RPM to high. This has already got an air start system on it, so air's been introduced to the engine. It spools up. I put the igniter in, and the fuel is introduced. Then you get to what they call flight idle, so the engine is self-sustaining, and you're at an idle, and you can go from there.
Okay.
You've got to monitor the exhaust gas temperature too, because that can really hurt an engine as well.
Yeah, okay. So it's only a case of when you feel everything is absolutely right that you would put the hammer down and go for it.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of your focus is looking at the engine gauges and monitoring the fuel, and that's what we've been doing over this weekend is, ensuring the pressure in the fuel and the pumps. There's no lights coming on as we increase RPM, so it's more a flow problem at the moment, I think.
Finally, I think your father, if I'm correct, he achieved 317.59 miles per hour.
Wow. Average. His peak was 345.
345 peak. That's fantastic. What's your ultimate target?
Go 1 mile an hour faster than 317.
Hey, you want to beat your dad?
Yeah. And Dad wanted me to beat him. Dad wasn't a guy that would tell you that you've done well or done great, but through Spirit of Australia, he said once I got to 250, he said I could quit. He said he's extremely proud of what I've done and what we've done together as father and son. And with Spirit of Australia too, it was an honour to build the boat with him. It was our ultimate project together, because you not only had your dad with you, but you had the fastest man on water, the guy who built and designed and drove the boat. So that apprenticeship with him is priceless, can't be replicated.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And then just very lastly, back in the day, we had Roger Bannister doing the 4-minute mile. We've just seen a chap break the 2-hour barrier for the London Marathon. How fast do you think man can ultimately go on water?
Well, there's no money to do anything in boat racing. If you want to be a millionaire, you start with $1 billion. So you've got to really do everything yourself. So everything's really, and I'd prefer to do everything myself rather than have it done for me. I need to understand what I'm driving. If you're anxious and uptight, you shouldn't be in the cockpit of the boat. You should really understand what you're driving. Look, I think 400 mile an hour is achievable. I don't think I'd want to say the sound barrier and all that. I think that's just talking shit. So I can't see that happening in my lifetime. So I think a 350 mile an hour record is achievable. You just got to get the time to have on the water. Like Donald here had 9 weeks on the water. We get a day and a half every now and then, and we've run our boat 26 times now, whereas Spirit of Australia ran 55 times. Getting time on the water. If we could find a place where we could leave us alone, develop the boat, there'd be a new record.
Okay, Dave, that's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for taking the time, for speaking to us, and we wish you all the very best out on the water. And later today, we look forward to seeing you perform.
Yeah, new pumps going in, and I've got to say the people over in the UK and especially in the Coniston region, it's just a fantastic community. And every record breaker, wherever they go to challenge a record, the communities are the unsung heroes. So they're fantastic people.
You know we love the Aussies. We always wish them every success at every sport.
I'm sure you do in cricket and footy.
Dave, thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.